Om Sarvadharmastapakatvam Sarvadharmaswarupakaha Acharyanam Mahacharyo Ramakrishnaya Te Namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, O embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. So let us continue with our teachings of Sri Ramakrishna with examples, parables, and stories. In our previous talk, we have seen Sri Ramakrishna addressing Sri M's question that how ought we to live in this world. And Sri Ramakrishna has given a very clear-cut instruction. How should we live in the world, especially the householders who have got so many things to do for the sake of their families, for the sake of their society, for the sake of their brethren. So Sri Ramakrishna says, first you fix your mind on God and then do all your duties. Don't run away from the duties. Being a householder, you have got the responsibility towards your family, towards your parents, towards your wife, towards your husband, towards your children, towards your siblings, towards your family members, towards your society. You have got all this tremendous responsibility with you. Don't run away from these. But fix your mind on God and then start doing all these things that you have to do for your family, for your friends, for your society. If you don't do it, you will get entangled and in turn it will lead into a misery. And then Sri Ramakrishna gave those two beautiful examples of the maid servant and the mother tortoise. The maid servant works in the house where she is working, where she is employed, where she is engaged. She will work as if the house is hers. She will take care of the children of the family as if they are her own children. She will keep on addressing them, "Oh my Ram, oh my Hari." But in her heart of hearts, she always knows that her true abode is somewhere else in the village. Her real Ram and real Hari, they are somewhere else. These are her master's children. That she always have this kind of understanding, that realization, that where she truly belongs. And then again the example of mother tortoise. Mother tortoise will keep on wading through the waters of that river from one end to another, from this bank to that bank, collecting food, collecting seaweed, collecting algae, collecting some small things. But all the time, her mind, her thoughts, her focus is always on the bank where she has laid the eggs. So Sri Ramakrishna has given these two beautiful examples to make us understand the point that first fix the mind on God and then get into all these activities like the the maid servant or like the mother tortoise. Then it will not affect you. And then to further re-emphasize this teaching, Sri Ramakrishna further says, now let us take this teaching today. Sri Ramakrishna says, if you enter the world without first cultivating love for God, you will be entangled more and more. Without cultivating love for God, if we start doing all these worldly activities, then we are bound to get entangled more and more in these activities and forget the true purpose. You will be overwhelmed with its danger, its grief, its sorrows, Sri Ramakrishna says. This world is full of grief, full of miseries, full of sorrows, isn't it? It is not that we always keep on getting only happiness. The happiness accompanies with unhappiness. The joy accompanies with sorrow. The pleasure accompanies with pain. So all these things we start experiencing when we don't have love for God. And then Sri Ramakrishna says that, and the more you think of worldly things, my family, my friends, my society, my property, my house, my belongings, my possessions, the more you start thinking about these, the more you will be attached to them. And when you get attached to all these things, when the right time comes, it will be very difficult for us to depart. Then we will be in real trouble. And then with those feelings, we have to start coming back into this cycle of birth and death again and again and again. So Sri Ramakrishna says, you will be more attached to them. Don't get attached. Now, how to not to get attached? Sri Ramakrishna has taught us here. Develop the love for God. Develop the love for, cultivate the love for God, and then start doing all these things. You will never feel attached. You will understand the reality of the things. You will understand this is how the world is composed of, the good and bad. Now you have that power of discrimination. The Sat Asat Viveka Buddhi you have got once you develop that love for God. And then you are in the safe waters. You don't have anything to be afraid of. Now, Sri Ramakrishna has even given this teaching with two examples. So, again, most apt examples that after having developed love for God, how we can remain safe in these worldly waters. Sri Ramakrishna says, gives an example of cutting the jackfruit. Now, those who have cut jackfruit, they will definitely understand the messy nature of the sap of jackfruit. The moment we start cutting the jackfruit, oh, that sap, white sap, oozes out. It sticks to our fingers and all the mess. Our fingers get sticky. We can't move the fingers then. We are no more able to cut the jackfruit properly. Again, that sap will keep on spreading here and there and creating all over the mess. So Sri Ramakrishna says, how we can do this? By preventing the sap to stick on the fingers and the hand. How we can do it? Sri Ramakrishna says, apply oil on your hands and then cut the jackfruit. Applying oil prevents the sap to get stuck on the fingers and hand. What a simple solution. And Sri Ramakrishna says, devotion for God, love for God is this oil, applying the oil to the hands and then cutting the jackfruit. Then the process becomes so simple. Even if that sap is so messy, it will not trouble us. It will not create any hassles for us in cutting that jackfruit. We can coolly cut the jackfruit and enjoy that pulpy flesh of the jackfruit. The delicious. So that's what Sri Ramakrishna has given the example. First, anoint your hands and fingers with the oil. Then start cutting the jackfruit. Then the process is so simple and so easy. You will love cutting the jackfruit then. Then you won't say, oh my God, what a mess I have to get into. No. That is one example. Second example Sri Ramakrishna gives here is that of butter. Sri Ramakrishna says, if we mix milk and water, they will get mixed so easily, isn't it? We won't be able to make out once the milk and water get mixed. We won't be able to make out, oh, this layer is milk, this layer is water. No. They get uniformly mixed, losing their own identities at all, totally. They become one with kind of each other. And they also take up the burdens and problems of each other's. So how to avoid it? Sri Ramakrishna says that convert that milk into curds. Set it aside at an isolated place. Set it aside at a convenient place. And then once the curd is set, just churn the curd. The butter will come on top. And once the butter comes on top, you put it in water. It will never ever mix. Then the butter will float on the water in its happy mood, in the most blissful manner. It won't get affected by the unnecessary, unwanted things of the water. It will not lose its identity. It will remain as butter floating on top of water. So convert that milk into butter and then put it. So converting milk to butter is the developing love for God. Once you develop that, then plunge into waters. You will not get affected. You will not get harmed by the negativities of that water. There won't be any negativities then. All those things are there, separate. I am blissfully floating on top of the water in my own better environment. I am floating there on top of water in my own divine thoughts. Thoughts only on the divine, thoughts only on my mother, thoughts only on my God. Then nothing in this world can affect me, nothing in this world can harm me. So that is Sri Ramakrishna's teaching for this session, that apply oil of devotion of God and then cut the jackfruit. Convert milk into butter and then jump into the waters of the worldly affairs. Nothing will harm you. That is today's teaching. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishna.